Hello, everybody. I'm back again. This is going to be our first video lesson. This is for our first day, which is August 13th. And you're going to want to leave this video and go sign in, please, if you haven't done that. We're going to talk about plagiarism today. And the reason I'm talking about plagiarism is because it's terrifically important, and it's something that is very important to me because I've seen a lot of students who are ready to go into journalism who still don't understand plagiarism, and it has ruined people's careers. And when the journalism 4425 people see this, you're going to understand that plagiarism and copyright, they're discussed in the First Amendment. So, not in the First Amendment itself, but in, the Constitution. Let's put it that way, the Constitution. So this is where it comes from. And I don't want to see anybody in any field write a book, deliver a speech, or write anything that ends up being plagiarized, maybe because you didn't realize you were plagiarizing, or because you did realize you were plagiarizing. I just want you to know that when I tell you that you've plagiarized something, I'm not accusing you of committing a huge crime, at least not in school, okay? Although it can be a crime. I am going to assume that you didn't mean to do it. And so we will go from there. But our first assignment that you'll have on the first day, that will be due after our first day, will teach you a little bit about plagiarism. And I want to have this exercise. Yes, it's something extra to do. However, it's going to mean something to you. And I think you're going to remember about plagiarism more than if I just told you about plagiarism. So if you would like to open up your anti-plagiarism PowerPoint, I will speak along with it, and you can watch it and listen to me at the same time. So I'm sure you've heard the word plagiarism coming up through grade school. I remember the exact day I learned about plagiarism. I was in 4th grade, and we were supposed to write about plagiarism, and I ran to the back of the room. No, this was in 6th grade. Yeah. We had encyclopedias at the back of our room in 6th grade, and I ran there to get something to write about, write an essay for class. And there was a classmate next to me, Jimmy. He's a doctor today. He was a great baseball player, and I had a crush on him. But he was copying something from the encyclopedia, and I whispered over to him, "Jimmy, what are you doing? You're copying." He said, "Yeah, I know. And I said, "That's plagiarism." He says, "Yeah, I know it. I said, "Well, you know it. Why are you doing it?" And he says, "Because I'm in a hurry. I didn't finish my essay." And I never forgot that. And I'm sure I've committed the crime unintentionally, but that was basically due to sloppiness. I am so careful these days when I write papers that are going to be published. When I'm writing a book right now, I have to be very, very careful that everybody gets the proper credit, that I cannot be accused of plagiarism. That could be the end of my career. So on slide 3, we have a very cute cartoon of 2 men in prison, and one guy says, Grand Theft Auto, you? He says, plagiarism. So one of the guys is in prison for Grand Theft Auto, and the other is in for plagiarism. It looks funny, but it could happen. However, usually what it means is money out of your pocket. And I don't want to see any of you have to pay somebody because you plagiarize their words. Then we go on, and plagiarism, the word comes from the Latin language meaning to kidnap. I can think of better words to take it from, but kidnapping. Basically, you're taking something of somebody else's. You're taking a person. When you kidnap, you're taking a person. Theft is really a better word, because you're taking something that belongs to somebody else, something that has a value. But remember that the word actually comes from Latin, the word meaning to kidnap. According to the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, plagiarism means, and here is the quote, to steal and pass off the words and ideas of another as one's own, use another's production without crediting the source, to commit literary theft, present as new or original an idea or product derived from an existing source. So you can think of it as theft, pure and simple. Theft of something valuable that belongs to somebody else. Now we move on to slide 6. There are two major types of plagiarism. One is intentional and the other is unintentional. But the reason why we go over something that we've written, the reason why we check through it and perhaps put it through a plagiarism test that you can find some free ones online. You want to make sure that you are not plagiarizing. And I don't know how this happened, but at any rate, let me do this. Edit, undo, paste. Okay. All right. Intentional plagiarism is submitting pre-written papers downloaded or purchased from the internet as your own work. Oh my gosh. Do not pay anybody to write your paper for you. There are plenty of places to do it. I know you're smart. I know you've heard of it. Don't do that. Okay? Number 2, cutting and pasting from more than one source to create a paper without quoting or citing references or citing the sources. And 3, borrowing words or ideas from others without giving credit. I like the way we say, I just borrowed it. Well, if you just borrowed it for your paper, how are you going to give it back to somebody? You can't. The word borrow is a misnomer. You're not borrowing, you're stealing. So I don't want to make it sound any better than it is. It's not good, and it's not borrowing. On to slide 7. These are some of the things that happen that can lead to unintentional plagiarizing. One is lazy paraphrasing and quoting. You do a really lousy job of paraphrasing, and you end up actually stating what the person actually said, and then you don't give any citation for it. You don't give them any credit for it. Haphazard citations, lack of understanding of the research process, disengagement from the research process. I'm going to give you the, that's where I'm going to stop this, and then I'm going to go on to part 2. The biggest reason for plagiarizing is running out of time, doing an assignment the night before or 2 hours before or whatever. You must give yourself time to reread it, to edit it, to proofread it, and to make sure that you have cited everybody you have quoted. All right, end of video 1 for first day.